Things are heating up as our unlikely heroes have to decide, is it time to run or is it time to fight? While they're making up their minds, their enemies are waiting for them outside, hungry for blood and ready for battle. Who will escape, if anyone?
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Hello, my spookies. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for a little spooky in your weekly. I'm your host and narrator Enrique Couto, and tonight we have part 4 of our 5-part summer miniseries Portals. Last week we found out the backstory of the vampire multiverse. Now, things are about to heat up. If you missed part 3 last week, make sure you go back and give it a listen before you check out today's story, but don't worry, there's always a recap at the beginning to make sure you're fresh and ready to enjoy. We only do mini-series twice a year here at Weekly Spooky. They're a special treat for those of you who stick it out with us all year long, so thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying. And remember, if you ever want to reach out to me, all you have to do is send an email to weeklyspooky@gmail.com. I promise you, I'll always get back to you. Also, I want to say a very big congratulations to our listener Jade and her new baby girl, Lonnie. Always happy to hear about a brand new spooky coming into this world. So Lonnie, this show is for you when you're old enough. And before we get to the story, I do want to remind you out there, if you love what we're doing and you want to support us in a very direct way, you can join us on Patreon by going to weeklyspooky.com and clicking on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help make sure the spooky comes every single week for another 4 or 5 years, or maybe even more, and get 2 exclusive episodes every single month for your trouble. So head over to weeklyspooky.com and click on Patreon and join over 105 other spookies. But now it's about time to get back to our series, so we'll do that after these quick words. Last time on Portals, our heroes were captured by Mayor Patrick Gunter and his vampire hordes. From there, they were taken to the Strickfield nuclear power plant and placed into special cells designed to siphon their strength. From there, Mayor Gunter tells our heroes how the Earth of their universe came to be the vampire apocalypse it is now. When Mayor Gunter finishes his story, he radios his partner to reactivate the newly enhanced reactor. In doing this, Mayor Gunter can power even greater portals to other universes for the sake of harvesting more mortals for food. But Ariel Mirren is discovering that she herself has a secret of her own that is manifesting itself as a result of her anger and desperation to escape. And now, Portals, Part 4 by Rob Fields. Perspective, Ariel Mirren. What is this? What's happening to me? These energy dampeners were able to siphon the strength from the others, but I've been feeling fine since I was thrown in here. Ariel? Carter Cross stammers. What's happening to you? I don't know, I gasp, just as confused as him. Then I remember these red and green colors being associated with Queen Arcadia from when she possessed me around Christmas. I don't think about it and easily blast the bars right off my cell, wrecking its dampeners. Mouse and Aileen come to Carter and work together to help him up. Stop! Mayor Gunter yells, pointing at me. I run out of my cell and use my new powers to free Bella Tabon and Cousin Felicia. Even though Bella's still weakened from the dampening field, she springs out of her cell and floors Mayor Gunter with a tremendous punch. Felicia also springs out of the cell. Come on, we gotta stop that reactor. Aw, man, Mouse mutters. If only I had a mirror. We'll use our bare hands, Maddie, Aileen tells her. Yeah, I'm itching to kick some butt. We all head to the main control room and find even more vampires. I also see someone working the main panel. I can't see who it is, but this person looks smaller than these other vampires. The person sees us coming and transforms into that giant bat that tried to take me earlier. The twin mice and Carter are grabbing stuff to use as weapons. As a vampire grabs Aileen, she quickly lays into him. I mean, she's going all kung pao and showing she can fight. She's also showing she's got strength now. Mouse and Carter are swinging at anything that comes their way. If you've got powers, Ariel, use them, Bella yells. I'm feeling angry again, and I use my new powers to attack these bloodsuckers. As soon as Felicia walks by in her big spider form, I shriek. Okay, Felicia's on our side, but she's still scary. I'm going for the reactor, Felicia says. How about some backup, Ariel? I don't know, I groan. Like Bella said, use your powers, cousin. Your world needs you. Okay, I'm not so scared of Felicia anymore. You're right. Let's go. Felicia lowers herself a little. Hop on. I get on her back and cut loose on the vampires. Felicia moves fast with her lower 8 legs. How long have I had powers for anyway? I'll have to figure that out later. Perspective, Felicia Mirren. Ariel ain't doing bad at keeping those vamps off me. When I'm close to the main control panel, that giant bat that keeps being a pest is coming right at us. Ariel fires at it, but it dodges her. Focus, Ariel, I tell her. Don't fire blindly. I'm trying, but that bat's really fast, she protests. As other vampires are coming at us, I knock them away. I spin webs on 2 of them and yank them together hard to daze them. I spring forward and make it to the main control panel. Then I hear that bat screeching and turn to face it. I'll blast that panel, Ariel says. No, I quickly tell her. That might cause a meltdown. Ariel gulps. Well, I never thought about that. Try and find an off switch or something, I say. Do something that won't get us killed and that can close these portals that are opening up. Ariel gets off me and sees all the flashing buttons and dials. Yeah, this'll be about as easy as beating Mouse in a video game, she mutters. Using my 4 eyes, I see Maddie and Carter each have clubs and are keeping vampires at bay. Aileen continues showing she can fight. How did she get so strong? Then I remember she was bitten by a vampire here. If I got to take an educated guess on where Aileen learned her moves, Bella must have taught her. Speaking of Bella, she's still fighting Mayor Gunter. As that giant bat's about to attack me with its claws, Ariel finally zaps it. I snare it and slam it to the floor. Next, I grab its talons and pinch them with my fingernail spikes. Soon, the bat starts slowing down, showing my venom works on these things. Suddenly, the bat shrieks and lunges drowsily to escape. I pull it back with my web, making it drop on the reactor controls and fall to the floor. Some buttons were pressed, but the portals are still open. Of course, it ain't the reactor making the portals, just powering the machine that does. And then I locate it. Ariel, hit that machine, I tell her, pointing right at it. Ariel zaps it and overloads it. Now, the portals are suddenly gone. Unfortunately, we ain't gonna win this fight either. More and more vamps keep coming. Bella flings Mayor Gunter away from her and yells, "We gotta get out of here!" "You heard Bella, Ariel," I say. "We stay here, we'll be overwhelmed again. Hop on!" When Ariel's on my back again, I leap away from the main panel. Bella grabs Maddie and Carter. I let Aileen get on my back also. I carry her and Ariel easily as we make our escape. There ain't gonna be too many of those vampires coming after us. They got more important things to worry about, like fixing that machine. We won this battle, but we're far from winning the war. Hang in there, comic book nerds and horror fanatics. We're gonna win the day yet. Perspective, Bella Tabon. We lose those other vamps by ducking out of sight. Good thing they're the run-of-the-mill kind. If they were like me, we'd be in big trouble. At least we can recoup and talk things out. Okay, we damaged that machine, Carter Cross says. You just know they're already working on it. Who knows how long it'll be before they get it up and running again. Yeah, Carter's right, Maddie agrees. We gotta figure out a plan. We gotta keep the vamps from getting that machine working again. I put my hand on Maddie's shoulder. You got your heart in the right place, but it's just the 6 of us against Gunter and his army. Whatever we come up with, we gotta make it count. Face it, this is suicide, Aini mutters. We're looking at the real possibility of never going back home again this time. Even if we do succeed in wrecking Gunter's machine for good. Ariel points to me. You guys saw how Bella was knocking Gunter on his butt. I look right at her now. Don't overestimate me, okay? Yes, I'm a powerful master vampire, but even I can't take on Gunter and all his armies. At least, not for the long haul. Then Carter looks at Ariel. Since when did you get powers, princess? How long have you known? Ariel looks at Carter like he just cut her. What are you saying, huh? You saying I'm keeping secrets too? For your information, I just discovered my powers. Those are Queen Arcadia's powers, Maddie says. I ain't forgot what she did back in December. Ariel turns to Maddie. I'm not Queen Arcadia. I'm me, Mouse. She holds out her little fingers. Maddie hugs her own little finger with Ariel's. Then Ariel says, Pinky promise. Okay, Ariel. You ain't Queen Arcadia, but you do got her powers. Maddie stresses. Carter groans. Am I the only one who feels useless around here? All you guys got powers. I ain't got nothing. You got spirit and guts, kid, Felicia tells him. Don't forget, you're still alive. But how much longer will we be alive, Felicia? Aini yells. You see how many of those blood-sucking freaks we have to deal with out there? Felicia folds her human arms in front of her. And what about you? You got bitten by a vampire here. You seem to be showing some new powers yourself. I move up next to Aini. Leave her alone, Felicia. But Aini doesn't back down. No. You got something to say, Felicia? Huh? You saying I'm one of those vampires now? Felicia doesn't back down either and squints all 4 of her eyes. What if you are? Then Maddie touches across to Aini. Nope. She ain't burning, Arachne. Felicia gives Maddie a weird look. Arachne? That's Greek mythology. Yuppers, Maddie agrees. Aini gives her cousin a mean look, but that's it. Had to be sure, Maddie says. Felicia speaks up. I get it's just us 6 against a whole vampire army. She's looking at all of us now. I even get that some of us are scared. I know I am, she sighs. Do any of you even understand our situation here? Do you? I point at her. You haven't been in the game as long as Aini, Maddie, and me have. Felicia comes to me. Maybe I have and maybe I haven't, Bella, but I don't have my spider powers to look pretty. I'm really trying to make a difference here. She points in the direction of the nuclear power plant. When that machine's back up and running again, those vampires are gonna be harvesting food again, and they ain't gonna care from where. We can't fail. She tightens her fists. Don't you people understand? There is nobody else. It's just us. If you all want to just sit here, then I'll go alone. Maybe those vampires will get me, but you better believe I ain't gonna make it easy for them. It's either I take out that portal machine once and for all, or I go down knowing I gave it my best shot. She steps back a little now. And that's exactly what the 6 of us are here. We're the last shot before the buzzer. I look at everybody now. The new girl's right. We are the last hurrah here. I point at Felicia. I never said I wasn't seeing this through. I'm a Tabon. Of course I'm seeing this through. Suddenly, Maddie gasps. Why didn't I remember this before? I do have another mirror. Aileen and I both got 'em. She removes her glasses. I need some light. I got you, Mouse, Ariel offers. She approaches Maddie, holds her hand under the glass, and concentrates. At first, nothing happens. Don't doubt yourself, I tell her. It's your power. You alone command it. Remember, you are Ariel Mirren, the queen bee of Strickfield Junior High. When you put it that way, Ariel's hands glowing now. Then Maddie fires away. Merryworth! 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 The energies come out of Maddie's glasses and go right into her. In seconds, Maddie becomes possessed by the spirit of the White Witch herself. I was hoping that you would eventually remember that idea from last Halloween, Madeline, Merryworth says. Mary utters an incantation and casts an aura around us. Soon it's gone. I noticed that some of you had injuries, she explains. I have healed those of you that needed it. I sigh. Okay. We're all at 100%. I say we launch a final all-out assault on the Strickfield nuclear power plant. I ain't just talking about destroying that portal machine once and for all. I'm talking about blowing the whole plant too, so they can't power another one. Aside from Mary, the others look at me with utter shock.
You're not safe yet. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Perspective, Carter Cross. It sure got cold in here fast after Bella said what she said. Look, I've seen enough science fiction movies with Madeline and Princess here to know what you're suggesting is both suicide and cruel, Bella. I say. There might still be innocent people out there. We can't just mushroom cloud vampire Strickfield and not think about them. Bella smiles a little. You never let me finish explaining my plan. I'm not a cruel person, Carter. What do you have in mind, Bells? Aileen asks. Bella looks at Merryworth now. I can't believe this is Madeline, or at least the ghost is possessing her. Can you whip up some kind of spell that can move any mortals out of the potential blast range? Difficult, but not impossible, Mary tells her. The spell that I require will take a great deal of time and power to perform. I do believe that it can be done, though. The 6 of us talk our plan through until we finally agree. Then I know how I can be useful and ask the ghost. Listen, can you make my mongoose appear here? Now the ghost just looks at me weirdly. Then she finally seems to understand. Of course, Madeline. Can they talk to each other somehow? Mary utters some strange words. When she's finished, my bike appears right next to me. I quickly hop on my mongoose. If I'm going to help out, I want to do something I know I'm good at. Madeline and I won bike competitions back home. That's got to mean something here. Felicia smiles. Like I said, spirit and guts, kid. Then the ghost holds up Madeline's fried compact and instantly fixes it. After that, she goes back into the mirror. Madeline's back now. Bella points at her. You need to turn back into Mary. And I will soon, Madeline says. Then she turns to Aileen. Want to ride shotgun with me again? Ariel folds her arms in front of her. You just love driving, don't you, Mouse? She smirks a little and waves Ariel off. Nah. Aileen says to the others. Guess Maddie and I are the distraction this time. Bella puts her hands on Madeline's shoulders. I'll get another car hotwired. You just drive like you're in competition. You understand? Madeline nods quickly. Then I gently smack her shoulder. How about a lift inside? Once we're in, I can show these vamps some real riding. Now Ariel and me are looking at each other. I really want to be mad at her, but I just can't. I don't know what I'm feeling for her, what we're feeling for each other, but I feel deep down what we're feeling. I don't know. It just feels real. That's the best way I can say it. We're going back home, Carter, Ariel tells me. We're going to win. We have to. I nod quickly. You're right, Princess. You, want to go out with me again when we get back home? Ariel smiles a little. That's worth returning home for. Then she looks at Madeline. You're coming home too. I don't want to have to explain to my parents what happened to you. I getcha, Madeline tells her. Aileen raises her forearms. Glad Mary fixed my solar lamp gauntlets. These should help keep the vampires off of us, Maddie. Madeline gently slaps her cousin's arm. Sweet. Hold it, Felicia calls out. Come here, all of you. We all come together. Then it just happens. We all go into a group hug. Good luck, everybody, Felicia says. This one's for home. Remember, we gotta get this right the first time, Bella says. We ain't gonna get no do-overs. I'll promise you that right now. It ain't long before Bella has another car ready for Madeline. The twin cousins give each other weird looks. Bella gives them one of her own. Look, this Volkswagen Bug was all that was available. Take it or leave it. Maddie looks at the decal. Not a Volkswagen Beetle. It's really called a Bug. Interesting changes in these parallel universes. Then she looks at Bella. I guess we're taking it. Aileen quickly mounts my bike on the back of the car. Ariel and me getting back. Madeline hops in the driver's seat. Aileen rides shotgun. Hang on, Madeline squeaks. As soon as Bella opens the garage door, Madeline's squealing and peeling before we sputter right out and on to the street. Perspective, Madeline Donnerly. Who'd have thought I'd be driving cars at just 13 years old? Too bad I ain't allowed to get my license yet. At least I ain't gotta have one to drive in this vampire world. I still can't believe you can really drive, Maddie, Aileen says. Yeah, well, I can't believe you can fight and make all them cool toys, I tell her. We're almost to the nuclear power plant, Aileen's warning us. Don't you dare crash this little car, Mouse, Ariel says. I ain't crashed one yet, I say. There's plenty of go-go juice in here, too. I'm driving right up the hill and right to the main doors. I floor the gas and plow right through 'em. You just know that's gotta be an attention getter. Soon as them vamps are coming at the car, Aileen's turning on her sun lamps. Them vamps are howling and keeping away from the car when they get flashed. Remember, you're playing a video game, Madeline, Carter says. Yeah, it's called Twin Mousies and a Bug versus the Vampires, right? I crack. I hate you, Mouse, Ariel groans. I can't believe how calm you are through all this. I just can't believe how you never get scared. Well, I sure ain't telling Ariel this little mousie is big time scared. I'm getting ready to stop shortly, Carter, I tell him. I'm ready, he says. When I stop the car, Carter quickly gets out and grabs his mongoose off of the back. He jumps on it and starts riding. I'll cover you, Carter, Ariel says, getting out of the car too. Get moving, mice! Aileen growls and looks ready to get out of the car. What are you doing? I ask her. I'm sick of Ariel and her mouse references, she yells. I quickly hit the gas as she's opening the door. We ain't got no time for that, Aileen. She growls and tightens her fists and looks at me now. I can't believe you're so comfortable with people calling you Mouse. And don't even get me started about what Ariel said about that sign on your bedroom door. Really, Maddie? Welcome to the mouse hole? I shrug. It just don't bother me. I know I'm a thin, little, squeaky geek. I can't do nothing about that, right? So I make do with what I got. Like driving cars. I hit the brakes and take the car into a screeching turn. Then I floor the gas again. I smirk and glance at Aileen. Case in point. Come on, cousin. You're doing all right, too. Aileen scowls at me for a little bit. Then she finally softens up. Just don't wreck the car, Maddie. Nah, I reply. Better be using them sun lamps on your wrists. Aileen shrieks and starts shining them at vampires coming at us. I don't know about Aileen, but this little mousie's having way too much fun. I love being a geek, and I definitely can't wait till I can get my own mousemobile someday. Perspective, Ariel Mirren. Carter's keeping the vampires off him with his fancy bike riding. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of him and Mouse. It makes me think of when I was chasing them on a moped back in early December. They had their mongooses and they still managed to use their fancy stunt riding to lose me. I give them both an awful lot of credit for being able to do that. At the same time, I can feel Carter's jealous of me because of my new powers. I can't believe I really have Queen Arcadia's abilities. I thought when I broke her will and her hold over me and got her out of my body that was it. I was supposed to be just plain Ariel Mirren again. Queen Arcadia herself is no longer a part of me, but she sure left me some things to remember her by. I'm getting the hang of these powers. I'm really having to throw my emotions into them to make them work. Then I see Cousin Felicia getting close to the main reactor controls. "Look out, Princess!" Carter calls out. "Behind you!" I turn around to see Mayor Gunter's almost on me. I shriek and fall on my tummy. When he flies right over me, I get back up and know I've got to get away from him. I need to get to Felicia and help her destroy those controls. I turn around and run to her. When Mayor Gunter yells at me, I turn enough to throw a green fireball at him. When it hits him, Bella gets the drop on him. And then I'm snatched up by that giant bat again and pulled up into the air. The bat is taking me out of the main reactor room and flying me through a hallway. Soon we come out into another wide open room. The bat takes me upward to a balcony. "Let's go!" I yell before I bring my hands up and flash Christmas-colored lights in its eyes. The bat drops me. I gasp when I'm falling. That's when I focus to brace myself for the impact. Then I feel myself stop and see I've now got these clear red discs under my feet. "I can fly?" I choke it barely above a whisper. I command the discs to bring me to the balcony where they finally set me down. They then disappear and I walk through a nearby door. I remember this place being dark, but I can see everything in red? Or maybe infrared? "Who's there?" a woman's voice calls out. I look to see the woman, and my tummy just drops. I flip on the lights, then I make my infrared go away. "Mom?" I groan. "What are you doing here?" Then I'm angry. "What do I even care?" Adrian Mirren gives me this weird look now. "Please, Ariel, I've said I'm sorry more times than I can say. What more do you want from me?" I raise my tightened fists. "You think you can just say you're sorry? You traded me to Queen Arcadia in exchange for power and riches before I was even born." I feel the fire flaring up in my hands. There's no forgiving that. Now Mom just looks at me strangely. I didn't know vampires could do that. I groan and shake my head with anger. "I'm not a vampire!" I scream. "No, but I am," another voice calls out from nearby. Now Mom and I are both looking pretty confused. The vampire has two other familiar people with her, but she's looking right at me. "Oh, the look on your face, Ariel Mirren," she cries with glee after revealing herself. Then I completely understand everything. I know who Mayor Gunter's mystery partner is now, the one who helped make this world into the vampire wasteland it's become. Mayor Gunter's mystery partner is... Well, my spookies, the thrilling conclusion of Portals will be right here next Wednesday. and I hope you don't miss it because it's about to get very, very hot. Almost nuclear, if you will. I hope if you're enjoying this mini-series, you're aware that over on Patreon, we have an exclusive novel by Rob Fields that takes place in the Strickfield Universe called The April Fool. 2 chapters publish every month, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. So if you want to join up, head over to WeeklySpooky.com and click on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You get to hear 2 chapters. And of course, know that you're helping us bring the spooky every single week. And if you want to hang out with other spookies, head over to Facebook and type in Weekly Spooky's Tomb of Terror. We hang out there, share memes, scary stories, news, and all kinds of fun stuff. And it costs you nothing but a little bit of your friendship. And speaking of Patreon, I want to say an extra special thank you to our Patreon podcast boosters, folks who paid just a little bit more to hear their names at the end of our show. And they are Johnny Nix, Jenny Green, Brent McCullough, Karen Weemet, Jack Kerr, and Craig Cohen. Thank you guys so much for the support. And if you want to hear your name at the end of our show, just go to weeklyspooky.com, click on Patreon, and select a tier at $15 or higher per month. And you'll get to hear your name out of my smooth and silky voice. But now, my friends, it's time for me to get back to work because this October, we're going to be doing another 31 episodes in 31 days. That's a lot of prep work. Myself and our authors are going to be making it well worth your while. So until next time, for myself, for my executive producers, Bobbletopia.com, Mark Shields and Rob Fields, my producer Dan Wilder, and our composer Ray Mattis, I will talk at you next time.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.